Welcome back, y'all. Lambo here, and today we're going over the hottest cards and sealed product this week. And we're starting out strong here with Mimikyu from the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box of Paldean Fates. And this guy is honestly starting to skyrocket and up almost 48%. And this is definitely going to be a pattern with Paldean Fates, and we're going to get more into that here in a little bit. Next, we have En's Zaru, and this is up 140% almost. And we're just starting to see these promos really start to take off, and I'm honestly kind of terrified when it comes to these promos. And yeah, we can see that $15, $16. I'll be really interested to see if it's maybe because of N. Maybe more people are starting to kind of grow attached to N. So I'm curious to see if that's kind of what's going on or if it's just all the promos. But we have the Paldea Evolved booster box or bundle, and it's pushing up over $100. And it's pretty crazy to see a lot of these booster bundles now starting to push over that $100 mark, because when we took a look at, I believe it was Silver Tempest last week, that one wasn't even at $100. So I'm very curious to see, outside of 151, how far the other sets booster bundles are going to run. Ninetales from Obsidian Flames here is up almost 90% over the last 3 months. And this is definitely a beautiful card. And Obsidian Flames is also in that block that's going out of rotation this week. And we also have Scissors from Obsidian Flames. And I love this single, so it's pretty sweet seeing it go up almost over 70% there for the 3 month. And we have the Obsidian Flames trainer box up over 40%. And same thing, it's just going on rotation here. And there's actually quite a few being sold right now. The Mew from Paldean Fates. This is where I think we're starting to get into that territory of 151 is starting to settle down. And now we're going to see Paldean Fates go on a run. And we can see 12 bought here in the last week. And we're at that $800 mark, which I don't know if that is our old. Oh, yeah. Yep. So we are getting right up there for the all-time highs for Mew. We also have the Charizard, and it's up 40%. And I was calling out, you guys should have been snagging it over here, $200. I mean, I definitely wish I would have, but man, buying these singles at $200 is just so scary for me. But up 40%. We have the Gardevoir up almost 30%. And these singles are just really starting to run up. And we even have the shiny Snorlax here up almost 100%. Pretty crazy. We also have the Ditto pushing up 60%. And the Ditto cards are just starting to go crazy. And we have one here in a little bit that we'll talk more about as well. We have the Paldean Fates Elite Trainer box up 33%. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly and how long Paldean Fates will run out or run up, kind of like what 151 did. And we have the Pokemon Center up 60%, not too bad. And we got Ghastly from Temporal Forces continuing to run up. It skyrocketed here. There at the end of March and kind of came down, but now it's starting to go right back up. And same with Morty's Conviction. And this could just be kind of the effect of Ascended Heroes with the Gengar. And everyone's just going, it's the season of Gengar, I guess. And it's up 100% over the last 3 months. And oh, it's just so scary. I mean, not buying these up here because these singles could definitely come down because Temporal Forces is still in that reprint window. So be very careful picking these cards up. But regardless, it is flying up there. And we got Perrine from Twilight Masquerade up at, I think it's the all-time high. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're crushing it. Up 55% over the 3 month. So continuing that trend. The Eevee from Twilight Masquerade also up 50%, continuing to do its thing. And that's just the story for Eevee right now. And this is the interesting card that I was kind of talking about with Ditto. And it's obviously the Chansey from Twilight Masquerade, but as we can see, there is actually a Ditto in this card. And I think there's kind of something going on where in Pokopia, you rebuild the Pokemon Center, and the Pokemon Center is then kind of ran by the Pokemon. And I feel like this card actually kind of captures that moment in Pokopia. And I'm pretty sure all these Pokemon are in Pokopia. And for it to be up 90% is pretty crazy. And kind of have a suspicion that that's why you're seeing this one run up, especially where Twilight Masquerade is not going on a rotation. But want to definitely keep an eye on because it's up to $50 there. We got the Twilight Masquerade Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, almost pushing up to $200, up 21% for the month. The regular one also up to 25% for the 3 month. The Stellar Crown Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes are up 36%. And I find this one kind of interesting. The singles have kind of stalled out, and yet we're starting to see even the regular is up 36%. And I think that's just where we're seeing the scarcity of products, and people are really going crazy for the ETBs right now. This one is also interesting. We got Pikachu from Surging Sparks up 16, almost 17% within the last few days, and pushing near mint over $300. And don't know, I've heard people talking a lot about Surging Sparks, so I wonder if maybe that's why everyone's starting to put their attention back into Surging Sparks. And obviously with Perfect Order not being very popular, a lot of people could just be turning back to these other sets. We even have Milotic from Surging Sparks pushing up almost 10%, back up to over $100. The Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes creeping almost back up to its all-time high, and we could definitely see this one pushing up to $300 here pretty soon, especially with the Pokemon Center website not really dropping anything recently. It just kind of seems like people are becoming more and more confident that we're not going to see these Pokemon Center reprints. The regular ETB has also just been steadily climbing up, so back up 26%. And I was hoping to pick up more of these, but they just started running up so fast that I kind of backed off, and I'm glad that I did because I was picking up the Ascended Hero ETBs. And the Umbreon from Prismatic is just continuing to go on a tear. It's kind of flatlined a little bit, but still up at its all-time high, up 57%, which is just crazy with how much we're seeing reprinted and being opened on these ripping ships. And it's still just undefeated. Even Sylveon here pushing up 22%, over the 3-month. Espeon 31%. Eevee, this one's crazy, up almost 82%. The Flareon here even up, 3%, but we can see from its low down here that it's jumped right back up, and it could be at 200 here pretty soon. The one that I think was kind of interesting too is the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box case is just continuing to climb up. It's just so crazy, up almost 20%. Prismatic is just something else. We even have the Journey Together Elite Trainer Boxes up 30%. And that's the crazy part with Journey Together. Everyone says it's such a bad set, but it's competing with the bad sets from Sword and Shield. And I actually think Journey Together is better than any of the worst set from Sword and Shield. So not super surprised, and I do think it's one of the coolest looking ETBs of SV. It just unfortunately came out before Destined Rivals, so I feel like Destined Rivals definitely crashed the party for Journey Together. But I think Journey Together set the stage pretty well for Destined Rivals. And speaking of, up 46% over the last 3 months, and we're still just creeping right at that $600 mark. So interesting that the market refuses to pop over $600, but we have to throw it in there just to keep an eye on it, because it is continuing to do stuff that we've never seen a set do in modern Pokemon history. And the White Flare Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box has ran up 50% in the last 3 months, and yep, just continuing to climb up, especially with rumors of it being more scarce and Pokemon not reprinting as much of Black Bolt and White Flare. But obviously that is speculation, so do with that info as you please. We have the Victini from Black White, or just Black actually, because I forget that they have it split. But the one from Black is up 14%, interestingly enough. So we're really starting to see the favoritism towards Black Bolt. We have the Zekrom as well, up 10%. And I do think this card is really cool, and Zekrom's definitely my favorite. Seismitoad up 44%, and this one definitely everyone kind of treated it as a meme, but to be honest, I mean, it's kind of held its own, and we have 15 bot here in that 170 range. Interesting. So it could be a staple. It could end up staying here or running up even higher. The Black Bolt Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box is really creeping over that, around that $300 mark, and I don't think it'll be very long before it pushes over the 300 and just goes up even quicker, because there are a lot of people that they're pushing Black Bolt. So keep an eye on Black Bolt. I definitely think it's one that is getting pretty juiced up right now by content creators and investors. And ends Zekrom. The Pokemon Center exclusive one is going absolutely nuts, up 101%. Insane. And I find that interesting because, well, I guess it makes sense, because the Ends Reshiram is technically, the box topper is in the set and it's just an IR, whereas this one is not in the set. So it definitely makes sense that this one would be running up as fast and as high up as it is. You also have the Mega Lucario that came out in that collection box, I want to say, for Ascended Heroes, is up 23%. And it's still early, but I thought it was interesting. You know, a nice little pump because the Gardevoir definitely is not performing as well. The Haunter is kind of stabilized here around that $60 mark, and you know, being up 182%, I couldn't resist throwing in here. But we are starting to see the buy volume kind of slow down, and that's where I just wonder how much more of these cards are floating around, and are we going to see a reprint or a restock of this? So it'll be interesting to see kind of where the sell volume goes here in the next few months, if you know there's really any more out there. The Alakazam, this one shocked me because I've been calling out this one like, oh yeah, you should pick one up. You know, it could be good here, and whoop, holy smokes, up 144%. The Alakazam Colt is real. I blame you, Poke Profit. That is crazy. 146 bought from April 2nd through the 4th. Dang. So I don't know at that dollar range if it's like 20 bucks, if it's worth picking up, but could be. I doubt it. It's just Alakazam. But this is one that I don't know why I left it off my weekly pickups, because I feel like I should have had it on there because it was at $6 and it just shot up 28%. And for whatever reason, I guess my card shop just really hasn't had any cards, so I haven't really been thinking too much about the singles. But I went in earlier this week and I bought out all the ones that he had for $6, and yeah, they're already climbing up, and we can see 510 sold. Yeah, like the buy volume is insane on this card right now. So we'll definitely keep an eye on this card, but I figured it was worth mentioning. It's up almost 30%. And then the Riolu from the Mega Evolutions ETB is up. It's just the regular? Yeah, it's just the regular one. It's up almost 77%, and pretty decent buy volume there. I definitely don't think this is like the craziest card, but it's definitely really cool. And Riolu is a good Pokemon. We have the Mega Gardevoir kind of starting to make a comeback here. It was down here in the dumps around 160, and it's come back up almost to $200, so a 16% increase. And I definitely thought this was a card that was undervalued, so pretty nice to see this one starting to go on a little bit of a run. Phantasmal Flames booster box is just continuing to prove that it's a good Charizard in this set, and it's up 24%, and no signs of slowing down until we see a reprint, and we can just see the rest of the product. The Elite Trainer boxes, just the regular one up is, the regular is up 50%, and oh my gosh, 75 sold, 5th to the 7th, 93. And I just think that this is where everyone's money is going. Instead of going to perfect order, everyone's just snagging up this, especially because Ascended Heroes is starting to push up pretty quick, and we'll get into that there at the end. The Phantasmal Flames, wait, that's the same one. It's unfortunate. Let's see. Let's do this. We have to show the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer box accidentally. There we go. Yeah, this guy, woo-wee, up almost 70%, and I'm looking at selling one of mine at $300. And mine has like a little dent in the corner, so I don't feel bad, you know, selling it for $300. I'm not looking to try to get, you know, above that 300 mark. I don't really care. 300, I feel like it's pretty reasonable. So, yep, we can see most recent sell, $300. Amazing box, incredible. Gonna keep my other one for as long as possible. And this is where the real meat and potatoes are in this video, is Ascended Heroes. And the Mega Gengar just keeps doing stupid stuff, and I think that's where we're seeing all these Gengar cards just going crazy. Still up 18%, and you know, 14% for the month. And this card is just continuing to prove me wrong, but I love the illustrator, so I'm not super, upset. I think it's a cool card. I just, you know, I'm sure in person it's amazing, and if I pulled this card, I would be over the moon for sure. But for $1,300, whew, that is a steep ask. And this Pikachu is going on a tear as well. And I mean, honestly, this could be why the Pikachu from Surging Sparks is starting to pop off. Now that I think about it, I just barely realized. I haven't heard anyone even mention that, but it's up 51%. So I mean, it just must be people are starting to really lean into Pikachu right now because yeah, it's up 51%. Interesting. So this could be the catalyst, what caused Surging Sparks to go on a run. Interesting. And then the Mega Dragonite, he's still up. Let's see, let's do a 1 month. 13%, and really not too bad considering that this is a new Mega, especially one that got clowned on pretty heavily. And obviously people are saying you can't see the wings, but I mean, the wings are there. I don't think it's disguised. It's pretty open to me, but whatever. Still a cool card. And we can see Team Rocket's Mewtwo has recovered. It's obviously in the controversy category just because the art is definitely different. And there's debate between if this one's better or Destined Rivals. But it's recovered from the 278. I kind of said that was undervalued, and now it's up to $300, which, I think 300 to 400 is pretty reasonable considering where a bunch of the other SIRs are currently in this market. And we can see the Ascended Heroes Elite Trainer Box case is up 27%, which is nuts, but it's also just crazy how many listings there are, 18 listings. So there's still quite a bit out there for people to snag up, which it's just crazy how much of this product there is. And the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box, I mean, holy smokes, this thing is up 30% and at 420. And I told myself I was going to sell my other one at 600, and that could be sooner than later, which is absolutely insane if it hits $600. And at that point, I'm going to sell it because honestly, I would be tempted to, at that point, try to get the Destined Rivals booster box. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not like, I'll probably wait because if there is a reprint, I'll buy 2 Destined Rivals booster boxes. And then lastly, we're going to finish off with just the regular ETB, which has climbed up to almost 140. Insane, up 24%. And I definitely think right now the hottest things we got are Ascended Heroes and Paldean Fates. And we'll see come next week with that first block of Scarlet and Violet rotating out if we start to see some more of that stuff just shooting up to the moon. But until then, you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.